Hello, and today we'll be playing the newest update of Heroes Advent. This will begin day 11 for Way. Just like with Max's day 11, in this update for Way, which is day 11, Alicia comes to the city and it's a big deal. Everybody wants to see her. And afterwards, she meets up with Dave for a private chat. It's a long time together, and she answers Dave's questions, such as why is he here in this world and what's his purpose, and some other questions. So this update is pretty much the same as the last update with everything about Lady Spring, though the beginning of the update and the end of the update, instead of it being some time talking with Max, you'll be talking with Way. It's about to go ahead and start day 11. Where am I? It's so cold here. Is it always like this at night? Hell, your soldier steeling yourself against the cold. When suddenly you heard whisperings and faint murmurs from afar. Is someone there? You looked towards the direction of the voice as if you could somehow move across this formless space. Though soon enough the voices did become clearer. Compose yourself, child. You're still with this world. What? Almost immediately, the murmurs around you died down as the voice spoke to you. Wait, who are you? I believe this is not the first time we've spoken to one another. I guess you're right. You do sound really familiar. But I can't seem to pull a name right now. I don't know why. I think this happened before when I met my old friend here. I suppose I see how it is. The figure seemed morose at first, but as they let out a soft chuckle, you felt rather relieved. Tell yourself now it's fine to forget certain things once in a while, although I can sense a disturbance in your heart. What seems to be plaguing your mind, dear? I guess I still have doubts after all this. Maybe I'm not so worthy to be a hero, like almost everybody's doubted me, and I think for good reason too. I think that's quite normal, Dave. You think so? Indeed, doubt, while usually a negative emotion, is something everybody has by nature. Even the gods of this world doubt themselves once in a while. Will you say they would make them a failure as well? Well, if it's gods we're talking about, I guess not. So don't worry so much. Here, come and rest for a while. You decided to lie down on what you assumed was the ground. You didn't know how, but gradually the eerie around you was no more. Soon enough, you found yourself resting amidst a lush meadow. As a gentle breeze caressed your head, you lifted your head, watching the dandelions scattering across the skies just above the wavy sunflowers. You let out a deep sigh as taking in the view before you. Feeling better? You could somehow feel the figure offering you a gentle smile. Yeah, it's quite a change from the usual things I see in my dreams, nightmares rather. I am of the mindset that everything has been transpiring in this world carries a reason beneath. Those nightmares you have had, they too all carry a meaning. If that's the case, then it must be pretty sinister. Indeed, but I would surmise as much. Doesn't really help with all these being hero stuff either. As if my own self-doubt was not enough, this is just adding fuel to the fire. I understand your grievances. I really do, Dave. My own child used to feel that way all the time when he was a youngling. Your child? Oh, right. You do have a son. Oh, sorry, was I not supposed to talk about that? No, all's well, dear. Now you have the chance to rest your mind. Just let yourself be. Once you feel ready, then its appropriate course of action will come to you as naturally as can be. Until then, rest easy. I'll take care of everything. Thank you. I owe you a lot, ma'am. And so the figure left. You had a strong feeling you knew who they were, but they still somehow eluded you right now. But instead of leading you to another void, they have imparted to you yet another gift. A soothing lullaby that sang your song as it eased your soul and comforted your heart. You lay there on the field for what felt like hours, though it was some much needed respite. Eventually, it was time for you to leave. That must have been her. I can't wait to see her today. As you barely sat up in bed, you heard someone knocking on the door. Who's coming by so early in the morning? Dave, why's the sun, hon? Right? Give me a sec. Be right there. He hopped off from the bed and rushed to the door to greet the dragon. Hey, good morning. Oh my. Didn't know you slept with a dagger at the ready, Dave. What you... As you looked down, you realized you weren't wearing anything at all. Oh shit, sorry. He slammed the door in his face, and as he scrambled to get at least a little dressed up, you could hear him chuckling all the way through. You could have said anything else, you know. He gave Ray a friendly jab in the stomach as you opened the door again. Alice, hey, don't do that so hard. It's sensitive there. So what are you doing here so early? Why can't a man simply be here to greet his boyfriend at the break of dawn? Why? Alright. Looks like Alec wants everyone to gather by the lobby this morning. Oh, is something important gonna happen? Yes, so. Says that someone important is coming to town. We're all there to be briefed on the preparations. Huh? Could it be Elisa? Huh? Her? Well, maybe. I mean, I won't know. But why do you think it's her? Well, call her Hunts, but I think I just met her in my dream. Your dream? That's news, Dave. Why haven't you told me about that sooner? I guess it never occurred to me, weirdly enough. What I saw recently went something like this. You think we told what you remember about your dreams recently? Well, not like I could see your dreams with you either way. But I'll take your word for it. Sounds like you were in good hands also. Not everyone gets a guardian angel like that in their dreams. I guess so. I do hope I can meet her today. Guess it would be interesting if nothing else. I think so too. It's been a while since I last met her in person. I wonder what she's gonna look like or what she's gonna wear. Probably got dressed apart for the occasion, yeah? I'm like somebody. Hey. Listen, I'm sorry for put me to a cell? It's fine, Dave. No harm done, really. Way. I'm flattered, but do please drop that attitude. Like how you dropped your pants while trying to wear it on the way here? Seriously, Ray? Stop it. You're gonna make things hard again. It's nice, but not now, please. It's still morning. We got stuff to do today. Alright. You're just too cute whenever you're teased, you know? You're horrible. Am I now? Well, breakfast time? Fine. I'm getting pretty hungry. But I'm still mad at you, though. Oh, don't be. I'll treat you to something nice. I'll just steak for breakfast sound. It's not a bit heavy just for breakfast. Don't be ridiculous. You need a hearty breakfast for all the work we do regularly. Steak with your meals should do nicely. Thanks, but I think I'ma just stick to usual light breakfast. Just let me finish up and we'll head down. Sure, don't take too long though. We ain't got all morning. What you got your morning rituals out of the way, you head straight to your table for a quick and uneventful breakfast with Ray. After you joined the others at the lobby, you could already see Alaric from afar as everyone lined up Alaric to the podium. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sir Alaric. I ease people at ease. As some of you may already know, I've gathered you all here today to inform you of a very important guest, not only to the guild, but to our entire city, Lady Spring herself. You could hear faint murmurs amongst the mercenaries as everybody traded glances with each other. Indeed, the one and only Caesar Orlan, many of you here probably haven't seen her in person before. She was the one who oversaw the Guardian Quest's creation within the Vitrum Praetorium. Afterwards, once having made sure that we could fend for ourselves without her protection, she decided to leave Crystal Coast in our hands. For decades, we've honored her request in keeping this safe haven afloat, that is until the recent transgressions from our opposition. This Lady Spring has decided to return to lend her aid once more. I cannot stress enough how invaluable her support is to our cause, but this also means she might face dangers from our own community now that she's no longer incognito. For that reason, I ask of you, each and every of you, to keep her safe, much as how she kept our predecessors safe before. Ensure that the road she arrives through remains on maximum security. All houses and properties in proximity must be checked thoroughly for threats. Last but not least, remain absolutely vigilant. Even in her presence, we cannot let our guard down just because Lady Spring is here to help us. Have I made myself clear? Sir, yes, sir. Very good. You are dismissed. Ordina Prosperita. Ordina Prosperita. As everyone went back to their duties, you met up with the others to discuss what Alaric announced. I guess it's her after all. I suppose it's about time we see her in person. Do you know anything about this, Max? Me? Nope. I don't know what you're talking about. Either way, Lady Spring is coming to town. Alaric wants us to secure the perimeter. We'll be present as a group. Why? Are we splitting up to cover more grounds? Nobody's sure, but we also need to keep an eye on Dave. There will be a lot of people on site. We will want a repeat of last time, right? Fair enough. Make sure well, I'm ready when you are. Makes sense. Well, I'm ready when you are. Same. Actually, I have something to show you guys. Here, take a look at this. As said as he took out a piece of old parchment with some writing and scribble on it. Huh? What's this, Alex? So, here's how this happened. Yesterday when I was at the park, I picked up this note that somehow ended up on the path I took. I got a tad bit suspicious because on my way there I did not see anything whatsoever. And yet somehow when I turned around back to that spot, this note was sitting right there on an empty beach. Of course, I headed back to the lab as soon as I could. It felt a little unsafe being there alone at the moment. But what is it even about? Here, you guys take a look. Okay, sounds like a bunch of gibberish to me. Yeah, looks like some kind of language. I don't know a single word though. Well, are you sure this isn't just someone's letter or recipe? Cody seemed Cody said as he passed a note to you. So it looks like it's written in Italian. So, just like last time in Masters Day 11, I'm going to use my phone to translate it. Google Translate. So, it says, from the beginning they were the best. Always arrived, had served, thriving. They sold everything, yet when I kept they changed, they were pleased with themselves. Now, they protect, yes. Grant nothing else, Gadiamari. They regret it, but they never say. They love protect, yes. Now nothing but bitter cats. They regret it, but they never say. The eternal Martaja will illuminate everything. Yeah, that's kind of what the letter says. But that's the thing, Cody. The handwriting looks a bit too neat to be any of those things. This feels more like a message than anything. So I take it that you've already deciphered it? Indeed, well, it's less so an actual cipher, and more so an intentionally cryptic message hidden between a mix of two different languages. I think those two languages are both Latin and Italian to me. Here goes. In the beginning, they were the finest, always together. They had served, thrived, and overcame all. And yet, when the times changed, they were complacent. One more they love and protect each other. The next, they're nothing but buried cats. They regret it, but they never say it. And when the bear drops cover, the broken mirror, their eternal shrewd will enlighten us all. Ominous. I do have quite a lot of complaints for the inconsistent grammar, wrong choice of words here, but alas. Ah well, in a sense, something tells me that this has something to do with a group, or a faction that we might have to face. A faction? Do we even know who these people are? I'm afraid not, but they might have something to do with the evil king himself. How can you be so sure? Wait, I think Al might be onto something here. Have you guys ever heard of the king's generals? I think so. Oh, those. Were they his finest warriors? That's the only thing I know about them. Yes, they were also brothers in arms, long before all the Nether thing happened. Oh, so that happened to them? Highly likely, yes. This coincides with the last part of the note. But who could leave this really specific message for you to pick up? I don't really have a lead on anything at the moment, but if this note appeared at a time like this, it could be a sign or warning for what's to come. Then we better remain vigilant. Just make sure we work together and not end up like those buried cats. What a silly way to describe people having beef with each other. Well, either way, that's enough of that. Let's get going soon. Alright, looks like everyone is ready to go. How about you, Dave? Ready to go? Or do you still have something else to do? I already checked it here, and there's nothing for Dave to do, so I'm just gonna say, let's go. Nah, I'm good. Let's go. I'd like to see Lady Spring. Alright, let's head out then. After a moment, y'all sail to the spot Alec designated for your group. Turns out it's quite close to the entrance to Garden Crystal. Quite a lot of people have already gathered there by the time you arrived. You wait for a while in anticipation, but also seem rather restless. Lady Spring. As soon as cheering broke out from afar, you knew that she's arrived. Oh, gods be praised. Bless our land with your almighty presence, fair sage. May your watch over our child, O great sage of spring. Well, I guess we're finally meeting her, huh? Indeed. Alec already confirmed that Elisa is an alliance for Lady Spring, so it really must be her. Still feels strange to see her again after all, and here too, of all places. It's her, Ellie. Matt swiftly covered his mouth before he could cry out to her name. Matt swiftly covered his mouth before he could cry out her name. Shh, don't say that name in public, Dave. You're right, sorry. And nodded him as you stepped back into line with your group. As you looked at Lisa, however, it was seen she already noticed you as she promptly greeted you back with a knowing smile. With a gleeful smile, you waved back at her as she got escorted further in. You followed the procession until the end as the crowd gradually settled down around the inner wing. For a brief moment, Elisa remained silent before the Garden Crystal as he gazed upon it. As he turned around and spoke, however, her voice was clear and resounding as can be. Citizens of Crystal Coast, though we may come from all walks of life, from the zenith of the mountains to the depths of the seas, we come together today for a common concern, the well-being of our kith and kin against this encroaching blight. These were dark times, and while we While my fellow sages and our champions may be heroes, we expect not the same duties from you. If it is your lives you wish to safeguard, then please seek refuge. Kill on the Maker's legacy. Let not your pure souls be corrupted. If you wish to depart, then go with the wind, scatter like dandelions. Kill on this message. Kill on our people. And for those who wish to stay, starward as a mighty pine, you shall remain here to maintain their shelter for those who might return. Forests flowing and solid orchards illuminate umbicum care terrorum eatus. That's Latin. Flowers bloom and the sun shines at sunrise wherever you go in the world. Through order, always counsel, and eternal prosperity you find. Where there is unity, there is victory. And while we are among men, we worship humanity. Order from prosperity. That means order and prosperity. Order and prosperity. So that's what it says in Latin. Order and prosperity. Kind of funny every time everybody says order and prosperity, the screen is shakes like that. So I used my phone just now with Google Translate. That's what she said in Latin. I don't know if the crowd understood or not, but Ray and Alex in the group, they don't seem to understand what the language was about when they read the letter. I think that letter could possibly be from Elisa, maybe? I don't know, but anyway. Soon afterwards, the crowd dispersed as almost everybody returned to their places. Your team was about to leave as well when you noticed two of Elisa's escorts approaching Max, whispering to him about something as he stepped away from the group. When he returned, he said that Elisa had asked them all to speak to her in private at the inner park sanctum. In private? But isn't this a public space? Don't worry about that. These guards will lead us to her. Come on, team. Let's vacate the premises. Do we have to? I'd rather check back at the tavern for a bit. Come on, Corey. It's not every day you get to meet Lady Spring. If it's a chance to convene with her, I'll take it. Let's go, guys. Time's a wasting. Yeah, well, you can always count on Al to boss people around when it's something he's really invested in. I mean, I'd love to ask for remarks of what we discovered about the sword, that's all. Well, be on your best behaviors, guys. We're going to meet Lady Spring after all. Yeah. Before you moved along, you overheard a group of civilians talking amongst themselves. They, however, didn't seem too pleased with what Elisa had to say. You then joined along with the guards to clear people out of the place. Afterwards, all of them stood guard both in the inner and outer wings of Vithram Park. Max then led the team out towards the inner sanctum, close to the guarding crystal, which Alice took you to before. The guards then asked the rest of the group to stay outside while you were escorting Elle alone, requesting your audience, Lady Spring. Granted, what do you require this time around? We're here with the person you requested, Malay. Thank you. If you may grant us some privacy, I would be grateful as well. Understood, Malay. He glanced to the guards as they promptly moved further away from the inner sanctum, bringing the group along as well. Ray only winked at you as he left with the others. Soon enough, it was quiet again, with just you and Lisa near the guarding crystal. I apologize. It must be peculiar to you that I asked everyone to leave just as they've gathered around to welcome me back. Truth be told, I was rather overwhelmed. So many thoughts of most of the people Crystal Coast had harbored for me over the years. But I had to smile on lest the last batch of our people's courage faltered. Is that why you choose to live in the forest? Precisely so. And before you could say much else, Elisa already pulled you in for a hug before eventually letting you go after a while. Oh, Dave, I miss you. How have you been, dear? Has the city been treating you well? I'm doing all right, Elisa. The city and the guild has been welcoming to me. It's really nice to see you again, ma'am. Thank you again for taking care of me, even in my dreams. I'm glad that you still knew it was me, even though the dissonance have messed up your memories and your dreams, no doubt. And it's very relieving to see you're still doing well. Will you mind going for a walk with me then? I can tell you have a lot of questions to be answered. Yes, ma'am. As you followed Alicia along the inner sanctum, you couldn't help keeping a keen eye on her garment. It was intricate and elegant, yet somehow felt familiar to you. Is something wrong, child? Oh, nothing. It's just you look very different this time. She only chuckled softly as he gestured to her outfit. Oh, I'm still the same Lisa, you know, dear. And truth be told, I'd much rather wear what I usually wear back at home, but alas, we all have an image to keep up amongst others, haven't we? So they say, yeah. I agree, I prefer simple clothes as well. So I guess this new uniform that Matt and the others go for me suits me really well. Indeed, you look quite dancing in those, dear. Thank you, man. Actually, that reminds me. I should return the clothes that you lent me from before. There's no need for that. I gave it to you, so it's rightfully yours. Just remember to keep it well. That's all I ask of you. Yeah, I'll keep it safe. Thank you again, Elisa. You're welcome. Now, what is it that you'd like to know? I will answer to the best of my abilities. Well, why am I here, Elisa? Why me, of all the people that could be brought here? What is the purpose of being the hero? Well, you're here because as the prophecy had foretold. In other words, fate has ordained that you are the one to vanquish the evil king. I didn't ask for any of this. That being said, however, this does not mean everything is already set in stone, Dave. What do you mean by that? Prophecies are, in essence, just another means. Long have people used divination to seek guidance through their lives. How they actually live their lives and shape that path towards their destination, however, is entirely up to them. So I might say that you be the one to put all of this to rest. Prophecy does not specify how. That's why you can take your time, Dave. Do it at your own pace, in your own way. I'm sure you'll come up with something of your own accord. I guess I never thought of it that way. But still, isn't the situation pretty urgent? I don't think I can just mosey along forever. I suppose your concern is not unfounded. Worry not, we'll have a talk with your friends after we're done here. Perhaps we can figure something out together. Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Elisa. You're welcome. Once you've found the purpose of your journey, everything else will become clear as day to you. But how will you reach that point is the question. I too am quite curious of how you intend to do so. Well, anything else you'd like to ask Dave? So what exactly are my powers? At first I thought I couldn't use magic like the others, but when Alice made me touch the golden crystal there, at least I looked to the CC as you gestured towards it. I got zapped. What he said wasn't supposed to happen. Were you hurt? Well, Thankfully, no. I just got zapped really bad when I think Alex code system shock or something. But afterwards, he suddenly found out that I could use magic now. Which admittedly, I did hurt myself trying to use it. I see. Thankfully, you are still here with us. What did your friend Alex make of this discovery? Well, he said my element was Aether. Did I say that right? Yes, Aether is indeed an element, although not in the sense that you may believe. So if it's a natural element, does it mean I can use Aether magic then? You could, yes. If that element actually existed to begin with. Huh? At least I don't understand. Did you say it was a real element? An actual hypothetical element. You see, Dave, in our field of study, one does not simply discard nor disregard the unknown and unseen. The existence of the nether element implies the existence of its antithesis, which so far has been named Aether. Alas, without any observable nor tangible evidence, this element will yet remain a hypothesized one. I see. So what does that make me then? Well, the conclusion that Alex had arrived at is close but not quite. He was correct in deducing that your element is none of the common ones, but rather what we say is called a null element. No? What does that mean? I mean, I know what the word means, but that doesn't make any sense. If my element was null, then how could I use any magic at all? It would be empty, right? In a sense, you're correct, but think of it this way, Dave. Your body is akin to a prism. For most others, the prism is tuned to only let certain types of light pass through. But no prisms are different. They are empty, possessing nothing on their own. Instead of letting one single element pass through, yours can adapt to whatever the inbound energy is, making it your own. That sounds powerful. But how did that happen? Perhaps it is indeed because you touched a golden crystal. When I first made the blueprint for it, I had the nether antithesis element in mind. And while it never really materialized more than just an opposite force, it was enough to not only ward off, but also disperse any traces of nether within the barrier. Huh? Does that mean the GC one's on Aether still? Hypothetically, I suppose, I would say it is merely an approximation. As I've said, the element has never once materialized in this world, even if there exists a force able to neutralize another element. Just by combining various types of crystals, we could achieve a frequency of the force I just described. And the fact that it reacted to your touch means it still functions optimally, even after several decades. Yeah, it's really powerful, but after the recent events, I'm not so sure about that anymore. So I've heard, though trouble yourself not, dear, your friend was diligent enough to keep a close eye on the crystal. And now that I'm here as well, we can see that the barrier remains strong to protect Crystal Coast. You're right. I hope the GC is safe for good this time. One more thing, Lisa. Alex said that some people can channel power from the crystal, but it's not recommended. What does he mean by that? It's a safety precaution, Dave, because the reaction varies greatly depending on the person touching it. If they cannot possess any elements, they cannot resonate with the crystal. Thus, nothing will happen when they touch it. But others who do might suffer a shock greater than what you went through. For that reason, one should not risk it by tempting fate. I see. Also, there's another reason why I decided to vacate this courtyard. Not just for my own peace of mind, but also for your good as well. For my good as well? You possess a sensitive heart, Dave. As such, it wouldn't take much for you to resonate with someone else's thoughts and feelings. Because of that, it would be best for you to be here just with a few people we can speak to. Worry not, your friends will soon join us as well. Okay, I see. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to ask, Dave? Have I been doing the right thing? What do you mean by that, Dave? Well, even though you just said that I'm free to choose my own path, I still don't know, or maybe won't know if what I picked was the right one or not. What if one day I have to hurt someone or even kill them? Would that sit right with you? For me, I don't think I could stomach that, not even in the name of justice. I'm afraid there is no path without blood, said Dave. That's the less than desirable reality of this world. To be fair, it's not so different in my world either. I see. Then that solidifies the notion that there can be no world devoid of violence and bloodshed. Shut up, Dave. Your heart is kind. To still concern yourself with the well-being of others. At least it's sad to see gently lifted your chin. But sometimes what needs to be done there has to be done. Should you face a dilemma as you described, try to follow what your heart says to be right. If it's not, try to seek another resolution. Perhaps you also need to remember that there will always be two sides to every story. Even if we believe ourselves to be righteous in what we do, some may still view us as evil, and vice versa. Even the king is not exempt from this. There must have been a reason for him to become what he is today. So, if I understand this right, you're saying that the right thing to do is to see the whole picture, and if I don't think it's right, I should at least try to find the reason why? The answer is yes. That is a simple way to put it. But bear in mind, Dave, some people or some things simply cannot be reasoned with. If it ever comes to that, you may have to put the good of the many before the suffering of the few. It is by no means an easy decision. My fellow sages and I have had many an argument over what people would deem necessarily evil. It's a burden that some has to bear, but I trust that you can come to your own resolution in time. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you for your wisdom. I will try to keep this in mind. You're welcome, dear. Lest I forget. Now that you can do magic, Dave, someone must have given you an elemental crystal. Oh yeah, you're right. I do have that with me. May I see it then? Of course. You probably took the crystal and gave it, and you probably took the crystal out and handed it to Elisa as he briefly inspected it. Fascinating. This bears the handiwork of Alex, is it not? Alexander Piritus Aegis? Yeah. Wait, Aegis, like Aegis Mines? Yeah, one and the same. Why? Had no one tell you about this? Not even Max? I don't think so. I always knew that Alex probably had some connections to powerful people in the city, judging by the picture of his family in Alex's office, but I never would have guessed that he's the son of the Aegis mine owner. I suppose you wouldn't suspect that on your own, but it all makes sense. No, a scholar with such aptitude is quite the worthy heir to the Aegis legacy. I agree, he's a really smart guy. Well, even if he can say weird things at times. I'm sure he means well deep down. Here, this crystal he made for you is quite an interesting replica of the Guardian Crystal. You mean this is a miniature version of that? Indeed, more or less so. But precisely, I can tell that he based this upon the Vitreous Apparator, one of the first inceptions of the Guardian Crystal. What's that? It means glass attendant. Think of someone that will escort you safely through your voyageless land. So it used to be a protective charm for one person. In that case, the previous sages were known for their warding and incantations that can fend off meteor cells from above. When their times had come to pass, they bestowed upon common folk these protective charms as mementos of their contributions to this world. Sadly, much like everything else, the charms deteriorate over time, losing its warding properties as a result. Thus, our scholars have long created these makeshift crystal amulets, serving the same purpose of protecting its bearer. However, it would take so much more to make something able to protect an entire region, while also able to sustain itself against nether influence. That was when I stepped in to offer my counsel the blueprint of the crystals you see today. But back to these crystals. One of the troubles of supplying everyone in the land with these was that they had to be custom made, tailored to the specific person in mind. Otherwise, the crystal would immediately lose its potency since it cannot resonate with the bearer. That's really impressive. Does that mean Alice made this just for me? Highly likely, so I surmise. But as he knows the implications and tune the crystal to your specific frequency. Being this caliber, it's not quite as potent as a Guardian crystal itself, but it should serve its purpose well. She held the crystal for a moment before closing her palm on it. Then she seemed to close her eyes and channel something into it. As she opened her palm again, the crystal began to float and hover before her. She could hear a faint hum emanating from the crystal as it suddenly shone and glimmered brilliantly. Elisa then gestured to the side as one of the guards approached and knelt down before her with a sword in his hands. And as if on cue, the crystal immediately gravitated towards the blade and embedded itself onto an empty gem socket. Finally, Elisa opened her eyes and graced you with a smile as he took the blade from the guard and presented it to you. Here, Dave, take the sword. You stepped forth and reached out to the sword. As soon as you touched the hilt, a surge of energy coursed through your body, rendering you visibly shaken, though not as devastating as touching the GC itself. I've amplified the resonance of the crystal. It shall not only channel your element, but also those you wish to resonate within. This sword was also imbued with magical crystal swords within its fine steel, allowing it to channel your elemental power. May this serve you well on your journey, Hero Dave. Whoa, thank you, Lady Spring. You took the sword after giving a shallow bow to Elisa, who nodded back at you in acknowledgement. Stefano, could you call Maxwell, Dimitri, Raymond, and Alexander from the 4th Division here? I'd like to have a word with them, if you will. Yes, my lady. I'll summon them right away. The guard then went on his way before returning with your group. He exchanged a knowing glance with Ray before returning to his position elsewhere. Max and the others then approached as they knelt before Elisa. Lady Spring, what is it that you require? My team is ready to serve you. Max, please, no need to talk so seriously. Stand up, please. Stand up, all of you. I'm quite pleased to see all of you here in person. The pleasure is all mine, Your Excellency. Nice to meet you, Lady Spring. It's quite an honor to see you in person, Lady Osteria. Please don't need to be so formal. You may call me by Elisa. Despite my current identity, I suppose you all have known of me as Max's lady friend who lives in the forest. Quite an astute assessment, Lady Elisa. Well, I gather you're all here today to talk about Dave's involvement in our current affairs. Let's talk it over some afternoon tea, shall we? Through here. You were led to a different part of the inner sanctum, away from the golden crystal. Where you ended up felt like a private garden search, even with its own self-contained meadow. You couldn't help but notice that wherever Elisa stepped, flowers and grass began to sprout and bloom at her feet. Even the wind seemed to carry a sweet scent from her, as if she herself was a blossoming flower. We all sat down around the large table that was set amidst the meadow. Several butlers came forth with tea sets and began filling up the teapots. Another one brought plates of whole cakes on top of his arms, gradually balancing them before placing them on the table. Thank you so much, Andrea, Landon, John. Your service has been impeccable. Lisa gave each of the butlers a nod as they in turn replied with a graceful bow before stepping away. Now please enjoy, all of you. Would you like some tea, Dave? Nah, I'm good. I can get myself. Nonsense. You're all guests here. Would any of you like some tea? The others glanced each other awkwardly before Alice just shrugged and replied, Well, in that case, I'd like some, please, Lady Elisa. Oh, extra sugar as well, if you will. All right, here you go. Alex? What? It's not every day that you get to sit in a tea party with Lady Osteria, let alone being served tea by her. Carpe diem, I'd say. Never thought that you could say stuff like that, Al. You could feel Max glaring daggers at Alex, but Lisa's chuckles seemed to dispel that tension almost immediately. Tee-hee, it's fine. Y'all, if anything, It gladdens me that Alex is still as eager as ever. Well, if anything, I guess that would make him quite the simpleton. Would you like some tea as well, Dimitri? Yeah, sorry for the troubles, ma'am. No need to be so tense now, Dimitri. Here you go. At least I apologize for the rudeness, but could we please get to the point? Patience, Max. You know I would much rather not rush things. Understood, ma'am. And so Lisa took her time to pour everyone a cup of tea and also giving everyone a slice of cake before sitting down. Now that everyone's had their share, please enjoy. I made the cake myself. Truly, a cake from Lady Elstria herself? As Alex began to savor his slice of cake bit by bit, he took a look at yours. It was a sponge cake with whipped cream in between the layers. It looked quite delicious, and you could always pick up the full aroma gently wafting from the slice. On the way Alex's eyes lit up, you knew this was something good. Eagerly, you picked up your fork and went for a bite. Almost immediately, the cake melted in your mouth. The creaminess was just right, and not too sweet. There was a bit of tanginess, and contrasted the stronger flow of aroma, but neither of which was too overpowering. You could almost imagine yourself laying on a lush field, staring up into the sky, the gentle wind caressing your face, carrying a soothing scent of spring flowers. Wow, this is divine. Not even the best baker at the market district could make something like this. You're right. It's on another level. Max really wasn't kidding when he talked about how good your cooking is. I'm very glad you enjoyed this much, Raymond Dimitri. I could write the recipe down for you if you like. It's not nearly as complex as you may think. Oh, if that's okay with you, I'm sorry for my rudeness. It's alright, Dimitri. I will give you the recipe a bit later. This is great, Alicia. Do you use forest flowers for this? Good guess as always, Max. It does help with the tanginess, wouldn't you agree? Yes, ma'am. It's very refreshing, Lady Alicia. A little less sweet than I would have liked, but maybe that's just my sweet tooth standard. Tee-hee, but of course. Right now that everyone's made themselves comfortable, I suppose we should move on to the main subject at hand. I'm afraid that the situation is a lot more dire than I expected. I've heard from Alec about the state of the Golden Crystal as well as your investigation thus far. I can guarantee that my presence here will act as further deterrence against a frontal assault from our enemies. The truth still remains that the crystal was not built to last this long. That is, it was built with the protection of its region in mind, but not against active sabotage like what has transpired recently. Then it is just as I suspected. It will take but one concentrated nether blast to dismantle the entirety of the GC. Is that serious already? But didn't you say the GC is still working well? I did, but it won't take much to destroy it for good, as Alice remarked. That is, while the crystal itself is safe for now, the amplifier rings have been badly corroded by the gradual dissonance from the affected soil. And I'm afraid it is too late to stop the saboteurs' operation, as they had planted the seed of discord all the way back when the crystal was still being forged in the glass chamber. What would happen if the crystal failed? First the rings would rupture, then the suspensors would go kaput. Afterwards, it will be in free fall. Then the entire area would be crushed. We need to move everyone away from the park just in case. Indeed, if our way inform our guild master to move everyone away from Vitrum Park towards the market district in case the worst does happen. So people should be safe by then. And I also understand that you all will be visiting the Akai in a couple of days. Yes, ma'am. Ray and I were there last week, and we experimented the same phenomenon with a Akai seal. Yeah, I was there with them too. The seal suddenly went out for some reason. Yeah, and we suspect that whoever did that there did here also. I see. Who would you bring on this trip? Just us, madam. Good then. Just a small team shall suffice. Be sure to scour the area for any clues that you can gather. The rest of the mercenaries will keep the city safe while you're away. Now, as for Dave, what about him, ma'am? Elisa then told everybody about your newfound abilities, that you know how you could resonate with others. The others looked at you in awe as Elisa asked you to brandish the sword she gifted you. Amazing. So they can also use others' elemental magic just by resonating with them. You've also further enhanced by manager GC to reflect his abilities as a genius and outstanding move. How you flatter me. You're also a genius yourself, Alex. As far as I'm concerned, people who can replicate the guardian crystal's properties are more than few and far between. You're too kind, Lady Alicia. Wait, help me out with something here, ma'am. You said that he could resonate with others. What's that all about? We're all taught that you can only resonate with your own element, so where did all that come from? Well, didn't she also say that Dave is a no element, so it makes sense that he's not like most people where that rule applies to. I guess. How does he do that then? For him, it's as simple as trying to resonate with how someone feels. All you need to do is focus on that person's emotions. Then slowly but surely you can feel his energy changing to adapt to the one he wishes to match with. With that said, however, it is only safe for him to copy a certain amount of spells from others. More than that would be harmful to his body and mind. And I take it that you want us to help him harness that power? Correct. Ideally, I'd like him to cultivate his power naturally, but given our current circumstances, he needs all the help and guidance he can get from y'all. Of course, I'd be more than happy to fulfill your request. I don't know about the others, though. I mean, as long as I get to analyze Dave while he's training. Sure, count me in. What about you, Cody? So, I'm fine with whatever you guys want to do, so I guess I'm in as well. Very well, that's decided. Though I must warn y'all that there is quite a caveat with Dave's ability. Huh? What is it, ma'am? As I've mentioned, as Dave can resonate with you, so will his mage adapt to yours. Meaning, he can feel what we feel, and it will affect him directly. Indeed, so please try to make peace with whatever turmoil remains in your heart, lest it eats your souls inside out, and Dave will truly feel that pain as well. Well, sure, what's the worst that could happen? I mean to say, I'll happily oblige your request, ma'am. I see. Well, that should be all for the time being. Were we at my homestead, I would very much welcome you all for dinner. Alas, I still have some immediate business to attend to. I will meet with Alaric and discuss our next course of action against the Nether Legion. Now, if you excuse me. Be safe, ma'am. Thank you for the pleasantries, Lady Elstira. I shall remember this day forever. Ha, Sim. So why? Well, let's take our leave, guys. Alright? So, what now? Well, wanna head to the beach with me, Dave? Is it a bit late to go there now? Your start friend's probably not even around at this hour. No, I'm sure friend's still around. He's gotta do his patrols at night too, yeah? Are you spending the night here? Are you spending the night there? Yep, it's a nice place to unwind and relax for the night. Wouldn't you agree? I guess I still prefer my bedroom, though. A lot warmer and cozier at night. Sure it's wise to stay overnight outside the gear, though. We'll be fine, Max. Chill out, will ya? This ain't the first time I spent the night at the beach. They will be fine. But, for all I care, just let them go on their date, Max. Well, alright, if you say so, Alex. Well, I still got stuff to do at the lab. Take care all. Don't forget about the train tomorrow, Dave. I won't. See ya, Al. So, you and Dave were actually dating, right? I thought it was just an ad or something. Oh, yeah, well, I guess I forgot to bring that up with you guys, huh? Honestly, with how much you two have been fooling around with each other, it's not that hard to notice. I don't really get what you Fine, so sorry about that, but as long as it doesn't interfere with work, I don't mind. Ah, well, guess there's no harm done. Well, we'll be hanging off then. See you tomorrow. Okay, take care, you two. See you, Ryan. And don't forget to rest up well, Dave. Thanks, guys. Bye. Let's go, Dave. So Ryan held your hand as he led you towards the beach. It was a rather uneventful walk as you both stole a glance at each other on occasions. Eventually you arrived at the familiar beach hut. We're here again? I figured you could use some time away from the city after everything today. How thoughtful of you, Ray. But you just want to sneak a date night in with me, huh? Heh. Why? It's a nice little added bonus. We agree. I tend to go here whenever I need to get a break. So always go here whenever you're running away? Not always, of course. But it's nice to drop by here whenever I can. Because you get to meet Finn here. Finn? Sure, I guess, but what about him? Yeah, what about me? What? Finn? Where did he come from? Nice skill on Dave. Too bad for you. I'm already too used to your same old trick. Well, I couldn't find myself when I saw you both walking by my hut. Think I was staying here for the night. Yep, at least that's the plan. That's fine by you though? Unless you still got more patrolling to do. Sure, it's all good. I just got back from the last round myself. Awesome. Say, I still got the first fish you caught. Might want to start roasting them down. Ain't gonna get any fresher, yeah? Sure, was gonna save them for some late night snack, but now it's fine too. Let's get to the hut first. Alright. We having grilled fish? Yep. I might not be treating you to some quality honeysuckle dinner, but these fresh fish are just out of this world. Sounds great. I can't wait to try them out. As you both got to the hut, Ray went off to gather the firewood while you helped Finn preparing the fish and salting them while Finn the scale and stuck them through a skewer. So how are things, Dave? Huh? Well, I'm doing alright. Thanks for asking. I met you and Ray. Oh. Well, kinda good, I guess. Actually, this other day I kinda got myself into an accident. Oh, what happened? It was at Alice's lab. We sure had some unexpected results while testing out some things. You guys were making any kind of substances, were you? What? No, of course not. It's not like that. I guess you could say we were testing out some energy-related things. I kind of mishandled some stuff, and I kind of blasted we were out cold for a week. That sounds bad. Magical explosives are no joke. Back in Atlantia, there was a case where an alchemist blew herself up while experimenting with substances that can help us stay hydrated while on land. Not even the water in her submerged labs could dampen the explosion. It took people days to gather all the debris. That's so unfortunate. Yep. So it's good that you're still here right now, Dave. I guess so. So were the others around? Yeah, from what I heard, they were all very worried, naturally, and, well, I just didn't expect Ray to have stayed by my side the whole time. He was the first person I saw when I woke up. Then when the others left to do their thing for the day, he stayed. We even cuddled a little during our nap. Oh, that's sweet. Ray can be pretty cuddly when he wants to. Yeah, growing up, I was used to sleeping alone most of the time. It can actually be really difficult to fall asleep sometimes when you're ill or still in pain. So it was really nice to have someone hugging me like that. So, what brought this up, Finn? Oh, well, I just thought it interesting that Ray stayed with you this long. Usually it takes but a few days before he hopped onto a new guy or gal in town, you know? So I've heard. That reminds me, I take it you guys already did the deed then. Huh? What do you mean by that? The Sargon only chuckled a bit as he quickly put two and two together. Hey, we did that even from, where did that even come from? I'm just curious again. Haven't seen him staying with someone for this long. We must be someone special. Thanks, I guess. How about you, Fan? You seem to hang out with him a lot. Got any history to share? Oh, me? No. He first approached me for another fling, as usual, but I noticed something troubling his heart. I took him for some talk. He realizes that he just craves some company, while I'm not really interested in sex with him. So we've just been friends ever since. Besides, I can't have sex that often anyway. Don't want to be caught up with some hatchlings to take care of while I'm doing, if you catch my drift. Wait, hatchlings? Aren't you? Hey guy, yes I am, Dave. Thank you very much. But nah, Ray never told you, did he? You ever heard of intersex species? You mean creatures that have both reproductive organs down there? Creature? House Dave. Didn't know you'd think of my kind that way. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Where I'm from, we aren't very familiar with that sort of occurrence. I see, don't worry, I wasn't being serious either. People like me are quite aware. Back in Atlantia, we also had really strict rules about people coming in and out of the city. Oh, what kind of strict rules? Like locals can't really leave the city freely or stay in other countries for long. At last I heard it's gotten even stricter ever since the evil king's reign. But for those like me, we're free to roam the ocean and stay in whichever land of our choice for as long as we like. Huh? But why? I don't know. That's just how it is ever since the dawn of our civilization. Not that I complain, of course. I enjoy traveling from place to place, see the world, meet people along the way, and have some fun with them from time to time. But like I said, I do have to be very careful with doing that just in case. Hope this isn't weird to ask, but different species can't just crossbreed, can they? Oh, they absolutely can. The offspring will be one of the parents not mixed. Their coat colors can be mixed and shared, I think. Interesting. I guess you have to know that with how cautious you are about this, right? Yep, pretty much. To be honest, I'm not that interested in intimacy like Ray is. I much prefer to share that moment with someone I truly love and care for. But you did care for Ray, yeah? Yeah, I did. But it didn't take me long to realize that he still had much on his mind and in his heart to be resolved. So for most of it, I only see us as friends, nothing more. I see. Done with the last one? Oh yeah, here you go. You passed him the fist, you just finished salting. He also looked around a bit as Ray was still nowhere to be seen. Oh, no worry about him. He's probably just sightseeing for a bit while gathering the wood. There's that all the time. Oh, really? Yep, but I see you miss him already. So what's your story? What got you so interested in him too? Story? Well, I don't. You knew him for less than a month, right? Pretty much, I guess. So I think. Alright, well, it's hard to say. Oh, why so? Well, I was pretty smitten when I first met him, the way he greeted me and talked to me. I guess because I grew up alone for most of my life, it just felt really nice to have someone give me so much attention. I think I do start to notice the troubles he has, like you mentioned. I don't really know what to do about it, but I do try to get him to talk it through. So, all in all, I still want to get to know him better, and I appreciate that he really looks out for me. But I also want to do my part as well. I want to help him and protect him the same way he did. I see. Yeah, there you have it. I still can't really say if it's love or not. It might be, Dave. It might not. It might be not. What matters is that you're both working towards something together, and you both enjoy each other's company. Others might disagree, but I think that's love enough. You think so? Yep. Well, it shouldn't take me to tell you this. But don't think there's a straight path to love. It's a journey that both has to go through together. to learn more about each other, to better themselves, to find the right compromises through trials and tribulations. And in the end, if they were truly meant for each other, they'll love one another for who they are, not some kind of front they put up for the other. Whoa, words of wisdom, friend, thank you. Here, I may not look like a scholar, but I do learn a thing or two from my travels. People have a lot of interesting stories to tell, and some very valuable lessons to impart. I guess I kind of know how to feel about what I feel with Wei. Sure, and for that, thank you. Ever since he met you, I know the flame in his heart has really rekindled. I can see why Wei would come here to spend time with you. Talking to you has been quite the eye-opener, Finn. It's nothing, really. I tend to call it as I see it. A habit I might have formed from my travel days. Ah yeah, speaking of which, you've actually traveled around the world? More or less, why? I mean, that's incredible. How old are you now, actually? Oh, well, I believe I'm 28 this year. Soon to be 29. I sailed from Atlantia when I was 18. Then 4 years ago, I decided to stay at Crystal Coast. I joined the guild to help out where I can. That's really impressive, Finn. What's so impressive? Did he show you his What? Why? Look who's finally showed up. Yeah. Hope I didn't keep you both waiting too long. Yeah, where have you been, Ray? Did you go all the way to the forest to collect the wood? Oh, you didn't know, Dave? At night, the twigs and branches around here can sprout legs and run away very fast. I had to chase them all the way to the woods to collect the wood. What the? Nah, I just made that up. I just kind of sat at a boulder and watched the waves for a bit. Maybe I got a little lost in thought, but I'm here now. See, told you he was just sightseeing. So what did I miss? Saw you two chatting up a bunch while I was away. Oh, just talk about my travel days. Oh, the good old days, huh? Well, you settled down in the city and became the old veteran you are today. Hey, we're not that far apart in age. You're only 4 years younger than me. Sure, that still makes you the older one here, though. Anyway, I got as much firewood as I can bring. You guys ready to cook? Yeah, ready when you are. Okay, let's get cooking then. You helped Ray settling the firewood around before he set ablaze with his own breath. Finn then put the fish he prepared near the bonfire as the three of you sat close by. You sure you don't want me to do the roasting? You guys went through the trouble of preparing the fishes after all. It's fine, I'd rather not have charcoal for dinner like you made last time. What? I told you. I didn't burn the fish, I caramelized it. Huh? Did you learn that word from your cell phone? Maybe I did. What about it? I suggest you go back to him for some cooking lesson. You need sugar over a pan to caramelize something, not what we're doing right now. Bah, you got me. Guess I can't fool you on that one, huh? Still didn't chart it that bad, did I? Maybe you don't mind it, but to me it might as well be the same as chewing on coal. So yeah, just let me do the cooking this time, you'll see. See what? At the time you actually burned that one fish really bad? Oh, come on now. It was just one accident. You need to move on, right? Just like how you move on from one ex to another. Very funny. Sucks for you that I got Dave now, so that won't apply to me no more. Hey, I'm still here, you know. So, wouldn't that just further my point, Right. Alright. Put it on, you lovebirds. Looks like this one is already ready. It's about ready. Yeah, you have one first, Dave. Oh, thanks, Finn. This is delicious. Look at it perfectly charred fish Finn passed to you. This one was a twin one, as Finn pointed out while you were preparing the fishes with him. It looked like a mix between a trout and a tuna. Now that you think about it, you decide to take a bite and let it cool off a little. It's really good. Probably the best fish I ever ate. Even better than the man himself? I pretend I didn't hear that. And thanks, Dave. Here, have another one when you finish that. Hey, what about me? You can catch your own tune if you want one day that badly, right? You can catch your own tune if you want one that badly, right? Hey, that's not fair. Okay. Here, have this one. Don't blame me if it's a bit overcooked, you impatient lizard. Ah, well, thanks for nothing, you overgrown fist. Chuckling at the poor made jokes, the two were hurt at each other. The three of you enjoyed the roasted fish by the bonfire. It was oddly comforting for you, feeling the occasional chilly breeze, listening to the sound of distant waves crashing ashore. When you finished eating, Finn offered you to a room to stay for the night. After cleaning yourself for a bed, you joined Ray in the bedroom. And there, the dragon was already in bed, greeting you with a beckoning gaze. "My, so happy to see you here. Care to join me for the night, love?" "Why, what are you doing?" "Waiting for you to sleep with me. Where else?" Wow. "Finn, I think I'll sleep on the floor tonight." "And catch a cold by morning? Nah, don't be like that. Anything would be better than hearing your cheesy lines all night long." You took off your shirt as you got in bed, though as soon as you lay down beside him, you felt rather nervous. Something wrong, hon?" I guess I'm just feeling a little nervous." About what?" "Well, I guess about what's next." "And about me, too?" "Maybe." Ray only chuckled as he gently put you closer to his chest. You could really feel the warmth from his scales. "You're really warm." My kind of specialty." "So, feeling any better?" "I guess." "Well, we've cuddled like this before. Don't see why you should be nervous." "Well, it's just... Do you think we're going a little too fast?" "Too fast? Well, maybe. But not as fast as my exes." "Really?" "Yeah, usually we get to sexing straight away." "Why?" Sorry, I mean, not all of them, of course. Some prefer to take it slow." "Still, if it worries you so much, then how do you feel, Dave, being with me so far?" "Well, I think it feels really nice whenever I'm with you like this." "Then in that case, everything is still fine, Dave. You're doing just fine." "Am I?" "Yep, you are." You both went silent as you briefly gazed into each other's eyes. You couldn't help but feel flustered still. You weren't sure if it was simply a spurt of courage, but you quickly leaned in and kissed him. As you locked lips, you slowly found yourself on top of him. When your mouths parted, you leaned against the dragon's chest and went in for another kiss. This took him by surprise, earning a pleasant growl from him as he caressed your back and returned the kiss. You felt yourself melt into his embrace. You could feel his tongue gliding against yours as your hands fell around his chest and shoulders. Your mind wandered as your heart raced. You made sure to savor the taste as much as you can. After the heat of the moment had waned, you slowly pulled back as your eyes met once again. Dave? Yeah? Do you want to do it? You suddenly hear the door swinging open as Finn stepped into the room. "Hey, sorry if you're already sleeping, but I have to leave for work early tomorrow, so..." "Oh. So just be sure to keep my spare keys around if you don't want to get locked in tomorrow. You take care around with what you're doing, sorry." And so Salt left the room almost as quickly as he came in. You could still vaguely hear his chuckle through the door. "So, do you have his spare keys?" "Yeah, I still got it. Don't worry. Yeah, whatever he could have made it a lot more awkward." "Well, I guess we'll have to call it here for now. You fine with that, Dave?" "Yeah, it's alright." "Okay then. So, you want to move to your side of the bed?" Do I have to? He said, well, I'm cold to sleep like this. Ah, well, I gotta say no to that. You sure you'll be comfortable though, just in case you need some space to move around? No, I think I'll be fine. Alright, as you say. You put your hand around him as you relax his posture, making sure you were comfortable enough. You lay your head on his warm chest, the rhythm of his breathing and heartbeat slowly lull you into deep sleep. That was day 11 for Wade's route. I really enjoy Wade's route the most. He's friendly and he's always nice to Dave and tries to help him out as much as he can. Cody is also pretty nice to Dave and he also tries to help Dave a lot too. In my opinion, both Wade and Cody are the two nicer characters out of the four. Because, Matt's, he's kind of starts off cold towards Dave, and then he gradually warms up to him later on. And Alex has kind of like a mean streak, though he does have some, though he isn't that bad. He actually is starting to trust Dave more and seems to be more interest in Dave. Well, he does have interest in Dave, but not just want to be with him, but because he thinks that Dave can be very helpful to his scientific ambitions. But he does start to become more interested in Dave personally. But Wade is the person that I really like the most. I always enjoy playing his route, and I enjoy seeing Finn, the big shark friend of his. He's really nice as well, and a very decent person to be with, and he gave Dave some wisdom about love and how to deal with love and what pace to take it when you're with somebody. And we love that part in their conversation, in Dave's conversation with Finn, that advice he gave him about love. I really enjoy that part. In my opinion, Wade and Finn are my two favorite characters in the game. I play Wade's route because I really like Wade. I also play his route because I like seeing Finn more. Technically, we do see Finn in all routes, but because he's Wade's friend, you get to see even more of him in Wade's route. So every time Wade's route gets updated, I always look forward to the update, hoping that Finn will be in that update as well. Sometimes I get a little disappointed when there's an update for Wade and he's not in it, but either way, I still enjoy Finn's route because of Finn, and because I still enjoy Wade's route because of both Wade and Finn. So that's it for this update of Heroes Advent. All the information games and description box below, including the Patreon where you can go there and support the game and get updates before everybody else can. When you pay on Patreon, you get an update 2 months in advance before it becomes public. And they also have a Twitter account where you can look at progress in the game and look on the latest news of it, as well as information when new updates will become public. And they're also starting to come up with stats for the characters, including their names, their heights, their weights, their species, their ages, and they're creating some new art for each character. You can check all that out on the Twitter as well. So thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.